Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to animate the folds in Marvelous Designer now. So I'm going to start in Maya. You guys can start in whatever program you want. Maya, Max, Softimage, whichever program works best for you, which you understand the best. For me, I just have everything installed in Maya right now. So I have a plugin to export the animation from Maya to Marvelous. I do not have any other plugins for any of the other softwares. This demo will just be in Maya and Marvelous Designer. This simple rigged Maya file will be placed up there, also with the Marvelous animation file. So if you don't have Maya or any other program, at least you'll have the file so you can pull it into Marvelous and animate it with your own pans. I'm starting off with this male avatar because this is the one we already created the pans with. We already created the UVs with. So we already transferred it from a nice clean quadded mesh. So this is going to make this tutorial go by a little bit quicker. So right now I have this mesh in here. I did a quick rig for this model and I skinned it very quickly. It's just a simple rig just to get the test going. I already have a simple animation in here where they just bend up. So I have keyframes set from 1 through 50. So if I select everything, you'll see all the keyframes. So basically 1 through 10 bends the knees up. I have a little pause in here, 10 through 15 frames. So the pants could fall down a little bit to get the folds how I want them. And then after 15, it goes back down to the starting position, back to the back bent knees. So I could get the cloth folds on the back. And then it freezes for 5 frames, and then it goes back to 50, back to the beginning. So when I render it out in Marvelous, you'll see a nice smooth animation. So first thing I do, after I have it already animated, the keyframe set. So all I have to do is run that plugin. The instructions are there to install it. I already have it set on my shelf up here. So all I have to do is select the mesh that I want to export the animation file from. So after I select it, I'll select the plugin up here, and it opens up this little dialog. I want to change how many frames there are since I have 50 here, so I want to change this to 50. You can set your default directory where it will export to. So for me, it's just going to be in the same directory, animating folds. It'll be in the directory that I have set up. You could name it whatever you want. I'm just going to rename it after I export it. So first, you got to select the mesh here, and you hit Create Maya Catch. After that's created, just hit OK. And then you can select it again, and you could export it. And a little dialog will pop up, tell you that I exported all 50 frames. Then you hit OK, and then you could close this down. If you move the skeleton now, it's stuck in there because it's still set up in here. If you want to mess with the animation again, you gotta select this, hit Delete Maya Catch, and then close this, and then the rig will work again. Let's go over to Marvelous now. So we're back in Marvelous now. So I'm going to open up that avatar we were using already. So right now I have the avatar in here. There's no joints on here or anything. So next thing I want to do is add in the pan. So open up Garment. I'm going to put on thickness rendering. So when I'm in here, I'm going to change the particle distance down to 8. I'm going to simulate it. So the next thing I want to do, I want to open up the animation file. So you'll go up into File, Import, MDD Catch, Maya 3D Studio Max, and open up that file that exported. I already renamed it, so it's male_animation. I'll leave the settings how they are. I'll leave the scale at 1000. I'll hit OK. So in here you won't notice anything that looks different. There won't be any bones added in here. There won't be anything. We basically export a vertex animation. So the first thing I'm going to do after importing the pants in, I'm going to put on thickness rendering. But after I import it in, all you do is go up to here, up to the right. Depending which version of Marvelous you have, you might have a simulation button. You might already have it where it says simulation and animation. You just click one of the two. Here I would click the little drop down menu and go to animator. It'll give you a little pop-up dialog to tell you that it's changing the simulation quality to complete instead of default. So as you're in here, you can see there's 50 frames in here now. You could zoom in by mouse wheel here. So as you see, right now the pants aren't simulated in there, but the knees will move up and then move back. As of now, all I want to do is hit this button here. This basically says record. This is going to record the simulation process. So I'll hit record, and I'll just let it go. So now that it's done, all you have to do is hit play. I turn on repeat, and you can see that it's animating with it now. So what I'll do is find the frame that I want the pants at to export. So if I want this frame exported out, I'll have it selected in here, and then I'll switch this back to simulation. And I can select the pans, and I'll file, export, OBJ selected. And just have a naming convention set up that you understand. For me, this will be Marvelous Designer, pans, 3D, bin forward. I'll export it. So make sure everything's set here correctly. So you want weld on, so it welds all the edges. You want thin on, you want unified UV coordinates on, and you want to make sure the scale is set to 10% again. Then hit OK. And switch back to animation. I'm actually going to export out the basic standing position. So I'm going to go back to simulation. And I'm going to go select everything. File, export, OBJ selected. Straight. Everything should be set up still the same. Thin, unified, 10%. OK. Go back to animation. And find the animation you want for the back legs. So I'm going to export this frame out. I'm going to switch it back to simulation. Select the pans. File. Export. OBJ selected. I'm going to export it out as bent back. So as I export it, I'm going to put it on weld actually. I'm going to leave it on thin. I'm going to put unified UV coordinates and leave it at 10%. Hit OK. At the very end, I always just set it back to the start. And I'll go back to simulation. So I'm done in Marvelous. That's all I need to do is export out the pans. Now I'm going to go back into Maya. So we're back in Maya. I'm going to open up the pans file that we made last time. So this pans file is the one we were using before that have the UVs. It's nice quadded mesh and everything. So what I'm going to do is move this out of the way. I'm going to make 3 of these. I'm going to import in all those 3 different poses. So I'm going to go File, Import, bend back, bend forward. I'm going to import in the pants that are straight down. So I have all 3 poses in here, and I have all my other 3 pants in here. I'm just going to line them up. So next thing I want to do is transfer this over onto the new topology, the nice quadded mesh. So it's basically the same thing as before. I'm first going to select the mesh that I want the information from, and I want to transfer it to the new mesh. So I'm going to select that one next. So then I'll go up into Mesh, Transfer Attributes. Vertex position is on, and I want to transfer it through the UVs. Hit Apply. So that'll copy that over. So I'll do it for the other 2 now. Select that, hit Apply. And select the back one, and hit Apply. And I can close that. So now I have all 3 poses on here on the new quadded mesh. I can now clean it up in ZBrush, and it'll work out fine. Before I do anything, I want to clear history, so I'm going to delete the history on this, delete the history on this, and delete the history on this. So now I can snap them to the beginning. I could delete the other ones, zoom in on here, delete the history again, delete all by history, and then they're all in the same position. So after I have all these animations in here, it's good to go. So now I could just export them all. So this is straight. I'm going to change this to Maya. Bend forward, Maya. And bend back, Maya. So there you go, everyone. So you have your new mesh with all 3 poses with the new folds and everything. So it'll be easy to export. You could go into ZBrush if you'd like, clean it up, and you have everything exactly the same. You could try to do your own techniques and make it work better in your pipeline. So this is just a good start to understand the workflow and the pipeline process of how to do this. At least for me, it's a lot easier to do it in Maya than ZBrush. After in ZBrush, you could do the finished touches and clean it up. Test it out yourself and maybe you won't have any problems and it'll be a nice smooth process. Talk to everyone next time. Thanks for watching. See ya everyone.